I have the very pleasure to be in London today at the RE/MAX Symposium for all agents and brokers in the RE/MAX family and those who are visiting. Gori, we're really happy to see you here.
Pleasure to be here. Yeah.
Gori came from Google, and I have some questions for Gori as it pertains to community and Google and all sorts of things. But please introduce yourselves to everyone, your full name, your position, and the company you represent.
Cool. So my name is Gori. I'm the head of training for the Digital Garage from Google, which is an initiative to help provide a lot of free training, free digital skills training to small businesses, entrepreneurs, sole traders, everybody basically across sort of the EMEA region, so Europe and even Africa as well. And we're just helping empower a lot of small businesses on kind of harnessing the power of the web to grow their businesses online. That's what we do.
Great, great. And Gori, coming from Google, but also coming from an esteemed background, you know, being in technology, working with people from all over the world, what are you noticing as the trends pick up as far as how communities are growing, you know, how people are interacting with Google, you know, with the new technology and what's to come? Can you give us just a small perspective on what you're experiencing?
Yeah, so I think, you know, more and more people are understanding how big the world is, especially on the World Wide Web, right? So in terms of how people can engage and even grow a community themselves, you can create a lot of content on things like YouTube or things like across social media that can be seen across the web, right? And even within those platforms, create yourself a following and a community of people that are interested in your products. And I think we're finding that more people are making the most of that. You know, they're really finding ways to showcase themselves and build a presence on platforms that allow them to be found by lots of other people and then grow the community themselves around that. So, you know, YouTube, as I mentioned as an example, second biggest search engine on the planet. You know, people are searching for products through YouTube, but they're also wanting to connect with businesses, you know, through YouTube and can keep connected with them. You know, especially a lot of what we talked about today was all about being found locally. So if you have a presence online but you want to be found locally, you can be on things like Google My Business, where you can create a listing on Google, and then anybody that's searching for you within a certain area, Google helps you by giving you prominence within local search. And I think that's a really interesting thing to work around. And I think communities, it's, you know, people gravitate towards communities that speak to their interests, right? And I think that's what's really, you know, an area that we're keen on helping people understand better.
For sure, and also being from the States and traveling all these places and wanting to document and, you know, put rich content out there for my audience, I'm always thinking, like, what are ways that we can not only interact with technology, but how do people, how do we release their fear from trying things, from using more stuff? And as a trainer, you must see thousands and millions of users out there. What are you experiencing from their perspective about actually jumping in? What can you do to encourage some of the audience that we work with to just jump in?
I mean, just one of the greatest thing about the web, right? And actually just about some platforms out there.
And about video too.
And video is an example of that. I mean, people often have that initial barrier of entry where they feel like, oh, creating a video is so hard, it's so difficult. I'll use video as an example. So just over half of all videos watched online are watched on a mobile device. So rather than think, I've got to create some amazing blockbuster thing that's got to, you know, be, you know, just really like incredibly high quality with a full, you know, sort of camera crew. It's not necessary.
Yeah,
you know, we're here doing this through a mobile phone.
Yeah, just doing our best. Yeah.
Doing our best, but it works.
iPhone 6 Plus.
Right?
Here we go.
Yeah. But it works, and I think that's the thing is, like, in the Digital Garage, what we do is try to reduce anxiety, right? Sort of think, okay, I'm a bit fearful because I don't know how to step into it. And a lot of awesome guides are out there to help you really get started on these platforms. Digital Garage, as well as part of kind of Google's Growth Engine project, we have a similar kind of a lot of similar tools, you know, tutorials, bite-sized videos on how to get started on a lot of things. And that first step is all you need to have the confidence. And for the most part, with digital, have a crack, have a go at it. You know, you know, what have you got to lose? Realistically, with the web, try making a video, and then all you want to do is make a better one. Basically, you just keep improving.
Right, it's trial and error. You know, it's free what we're doing right now, as long as we have access to the software. So, you know, we're using BombBomb, which is a tool, but it's not the answer. It's the answer is, you know, our I say, willingness to explore, to try this video thing.
Trying something new, and I think at the same time, you know, at some point, you know, they'll say you're always going to be embarrassed with your first effort, right? But the point is that you've got to have that first effort. Try it and get it out there. It's on social media. start on the platform, but understanding how your customers use it first is a really good start. Create your presence on that platform, and then improve on it. You know, it's the best thing about digital. Everything's accountable. How many clicks you have, check the analytics available, and then improve on the back of that. So, you know, again, that's how we do it.
Well, appreciate it. And you know, just because we, in the interest of time, and we're shooting this on a selfie stick, we really appreciate yours. And we usually wrap by saying, "We'll see you next time." That Lotus list is like a tag. Can you do that?
Lotus list.
Lotus list. So at the back of it, so it's L-O, like lotus flower, lotus list, L-I-S-T. So Gori, we really appreciate your time today. Thank you for being on the program.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure we have lots of questions for you, so if it's okay to keep in touch with you, share this relevant content with you and your audience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And really appreciate that. And we'll see you next time at
Lotus List.
Awesome. Thanks.